Wow, massive news today. Kevin De Bruyne possibly out for 2 to 3 months. This shakes up the Premier League title race no end. Now, we know going into this league this season, everyone said Manchester City, Liverpool. Liverpool are going to be Manchester City's nearest rivals, but Manchester City probably got too much and they're going to win it again. That's what the majority of people said. There was the odd person who said Liverpool might win it. There was the odd person who said Man United might come second. But nobody was really looking past Man City winning the league and Liverpool coming second, or that being some variation of the top two. Well, now their best player. This was the player who challenged Salah, probably the only player who challenged Salah last season as the PFA Player of the Year. He wasn't close enough, didn't get it. Won the Premier League himself, then went on and had a brilliant World Cup. That person is Kevin De Bruyne. Today we've heard that he has injured himself in training, a knee injury. He's gone for tests and they're going to see the extent of the injuries. He's probably not going to be out for the whole season, i.e. there's no medial damage, but he's likely to be out for 2 to 3 months. That's massive. Now, we know Man City's invested a lot of money over the years prior to Pep Guardiola, and then especially during Pep Guardiola's era. So they've got an abundance of talent, abundance of replacements. But really, can you ever replace Kevin De Bruyne? For me, he's the best midfielder in the Premier League. So on that alone, he's irreplaceable. But they've got players such as Bernardo Silva, who's started well this season in the Community Shield and the first game against Arsenal. David Silva still to come back. The likes of Phil Foden, who we saw during pre-season. And obviously Ilkay Gundogan, who his Man City career has been a bit patchy. He's been in and out of the team, injuries, etc. And then, just losing his place to better players. But they have an abundance of options in that midfield. Pep Guardiola did say he wanted another midfielder in the summer. He was looking at Fred at first, then he was looking at Jorginho. Neither of those joined Man City. Fred chose Manchester United. Jorginho chose Chelsea, both over Manchester City. So maybe he might be regretting that slightly, that Mahrez was his only signing this summer. But the question I'm asking, does this make Liverpool favourites? Are Liverpool now favourites for the Premier League, providing Salah stays fit? Because even though they haven't come close in the last 2 years, let's be honest, they've been fourth in the last 2 years. Before that, they weren't even in the top four. But the way that they've been playing, and the recruitment they've made, the investment they've made, they spent 75 million on a centre back in January. They spent about 100 maybe 130 million in the summer on Naby Keita, Fabinho, Alisson. But they've got strength in depth now. They can cope with certain injuries or fatigue, which you think they probably suffered having to deal with all the competitions last season. But if they can keep those players fit, why can't they win the Premier League? That's what they really have to be aiming for, because Jurgen Klopp's been here longer than Jose. He's been there longer than Pep. He's spent a lot of money. So going into the season alone, he had to be aiming really to at least put in a certified title challenge, if not aiming directly to win the league. Now with this massive news, and we saw last season, Man City got off to a brilliant start. They won, 20-odd games in a row. After 22 games, I think they had won 20, drawn 1 or some nonsense like that. And it's hard to compete with that. But with De Bruyne out, and what is the likelihood of that such a thing happening again? So you add that, the fact that they're probably going to lose games anyway, just the law of averages, taking away their best player. This gives Liverpool a massive chance. So all the Liverpool fans out there who are kind of trying to play down their side's ability and the side's chance of winning the league, as some kind of underdog, I think right now, this is your best chance to win the league. You haven't won it since 1990. You came close in 2009, but it wasn't to be when Rafa Benitez's fax rants. You came close in 2014, but Gerrard slipped. You've got a Ballon d'Or contender in Mo Salah, a front three that can challenge any front three in world football, and you got momentum. And now, what you would say is your biggest rivals, your biggest obstacles for the title, they've been hampered by a massive, massive blow. So in reality, Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool, it's now or never.